welcome to this week's Friday Waffle. Yep, you've got a scary close-up one of me this week. So yeah, how are you? Before I start, if you can hear what sounds like an air conditioning unit in the background, it's because I've got an air conditioning unit running in the background. Got it off my girlfriend, and it's yeah. Suffice to say, we don't normally need air conditioning units up in Scotland, but the last 3 or 4 days have just been so warm, unbelievable. I think it might have been 25, 26 degrees today. So warm. So yeah. Anyway, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm good, really good. What have I been doing? Let me think. Yeah, football. Commiserations to England. You know what? They played very well. I mean, just to get to the final, they beat some cracking teams. Ultimately, they were beaten by the better team on the day. They've seen that, I think, for Italy. Excuse me, I think Italy, to be fair, were probably the strongest, most consistent team throughout the whole tournament. So I think the better team did win. But, you know, fair play to England. They're a young team, and what saddened me plus everybody else was just that there's so much negativity by certain sections of the population. The racial abuse shown to the 3 guys that missed the penalties was just absolutely horrific. But I was really pleased to see that there's been so much support for these guys. You know, but the thing is, these people, you know, the horrible people, they're vermin. They don't even deserve a mention. They're just horrible people. They're not football supporters. They're just hooligans. They're scum of the earth, you know. But now, like I says, well done England for getting as far. You know, there's always next time. So anyway, yeah, that's that. What have I been doing on a personal note apart from working? Yeah, John here interview. I think, did I mention it? I think I did. I did mention that. Yeah, it was 5.5 hours all in with John. Really good fun. You've probably seen I've put out. I thought I did actually consider putting it out as a one-off. Then I thought, no, I'll put it out as 2 videos. But I know for a fact that very few people would actually watch a 5.5 hour video. And the same way a 2.5 hour video, it's just not going to happen. So I thought, plus being a wee bit selfish, I'll get value for money. I'll get, you know, instead of getting 1 or 2 videos out of it, I'm going to get 5. So I've done all the editing, and I've put out the first 2. I'll probably put out part 3, I don't know, Saturday, something like that. I'll see how things go. Just on that note, a couple of things that I want to kind of touch on. A subscriber mentioned, they said to me that they enjoyed my, they were commenting on the first part. If you can hear music, it's because my neighbours outside are playing music really loud. But you know what, it's 9:30 on a sunny day, you can't see very much. Yeah. A subscriber commented saying that they enjoyed my video, but they were disappointed with me name dropping. Now, I've watched the video, or listened to it I should say, because I just listened to the podcast, and yeah, I've mentioned 4 people. Now, as I tried to explain, I would hate to think that people think that I name drop for the sake of name dropping, to try and somehow get kudos for saying, oh, listen to him. The thing is, I have been in this, not in industry, because I mean, to say I've been in industry would mean I've worked in it. I've been in this hobby since 1997, which is probably older than quite a few people who even watch this channel. I've been in it such a long time, really from the very beginning. I've been into the whole scene. I do know a lot of people. I do know Jeff Minter, I know Tony Temple, I know Jim Bagley. I've met these guys loads of times, and so if people think that I'm name dropping, all I'm doing is we're talking about a certain subject matter, and I'm giving somebody else who is in the industry, i.e. Jeff Minter, whatever, their side of the story. So, you know what, it did irritate me. It did irritate me, and I don't mind admitting that person that made that comment. Now, I don't really care if he's watching this video or not. He's made a few comments in the past which has been very, very negative. The thing I've got to say to people, I do all this for nothing. I do this completely free. Yeah, if you want to chuck me a couple of quid, you can do that. I don't ask for it, and I certainly don't expect it. So I do all this stuff completely free, and you know, it's my channel. I will do it the way I want it to work. And so when you get people who, it's like, the way I see it is, it's like somebody going to a restaurant, a fancy restaurant or a fancy hotel, and saying, yeah, the hotel was nice enough, the bed was a bit hard, the food was okay, but the service was a wee bit slow. You know what? As a consumer, you're perfectly in your right to complain, because you've paid money. Watching my channel, you're paying nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like I said, if people want to do something, that's up to them. I don't ask. I don't charge anything for doing this. And so it does annoy me when people feel the need to nitpick. And that's exactly what it is. It's nitpicking. So, you know what? I'm not going to get too angry about it, but it does annoy me. It does annoy me. You know, it's nitpicking. The thing is, as well, is if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you'll know what I'm about. I'm not your normal channel. I do tend to waffle. I'll talk about things that are completely off topic. That's what I am. Quite frankly, if you don't like what I do, then don't watch my channel. Simple as that. I really mean that. And the thing is, as well, and I was delighted to see one of my mates, Andy, who's watched my channel for a long time, he actually chipped in and said, you know what, Alan is quite rightly proud of some of his friends, because he says Alan's put a lot of hard work into his channel over the last 8 years, and I have. And over that period, you know, like I said, I've built up a lot of friendships. And if people think that's me name dropping, then that's up to them. You know, I don't really care. It does bother me. You're probably thinking, well, why are you letting it get to you? It does bother me. It does annoy me that people nitpick in that way. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking about it from there. Anyway, people always think that YouTube is this big, ugly corporation, you know, run by Google. They're evil. Now here's the thing. I've got an unlimited bandwidth on YouTube. I get to make videos. It doesn't cost me anything, but like, it does cost me stuff. That's for my own software and my podcast software. But as far as uploading videos on YouTube give me completely free bandwidth. They allow me to do live streams. They allow me to edit my videos. They allow me to put comments. They allow me to put super chat, all that sort of stuff. You know, so people who kind of constantly badmouth YouTube, you know, just think about it like that. But the other day there, I was editing the part 2 of John here. It was a 4.5 hour video, 4 hours and 23 minutes to be exact. So what I did was, it had already, because I was kind of doing it as a live stream through StreamYard, it had uploaded the video onto YouTube. Now, because, you know, I was going to be editing it, I deleted it on YouTube. I thought, don't need it, delete it. Did that. Then I went into StreamYard. Now what StreamYard does is it actually records all the videos you do up to 4 hours. You can probably see where I'm going with this one. So it came up, I went into like past broadcasts, and it was John here part 2, 4 hours and 23 minutes. So I downloaded the video, you know, with the intention of editing into kind of another 4 videos, and I noticed it was only showing 4 hours. I thought, that's a bit strange, so I downloaded it again, 4 hours. Downloaded it as a podcast, 4 hours. So contacted StreamYard and they told me that I'm a premium membership, whatever it is. StreamYard only actually physically retains 4 hours worth of video. So he says what you need to do, if you're going to make a video longer than 4 hours, you need to stop it for a second and then start it again. Don't run over 4 hours because it'll only save 4 hours. So I was like, bollocks, I have just lost the last 23 minutes of the John Hare interview. So I kind of resigned myself to, well, you know what, it is what it is, what can I do? And I thought, well, I'm just going to do a wee search. So I went into YouTube, you know, deleted how to restore a deleted video. Basically, there's no way to do it. There's no way you can physically do it. So it said, mentioned about you can do a live chat. So I went on to the live chat and I was talking to Carlo. And he asked for some details. He asked for the URL of the video, which I happen to know because it saved it on YouTube, saved it on StreamYard. It still kind of had the URL. So I gave him that, a few other details, and then he messaged me yesterday to say I need some other details. Again, the URL, my name, a couple of other things. Did that. He messaged me this morning to say I'm really sorry. We need these details again. I thought, this isn't going to work out. So sent them off again this morning, and then lo and behold, at lunchtime in pops an email to say they were delighted they've managed to restore the video. So I've downloaded it, all 4 hours and 23 minutes, and I've now successfully got part 5. Part 5, I think part 3 is 56 minutes, part 4 is about an hour, and part 5 is a 1 hour and 23, or 1 hour and 16 I think it is actually, because there was a wee bit I had to kind of cut out. So yeah, you know what, anybody that badmouths YouTube and Google, I'll always fight in their corner, because like I says, they're allowing me to do this. Me talking to you right now is courtesy of YouTube. I know they do take a percentage. Like if you do a what do you call it, a super chat in a chat, YouTube take 30%. But the way to look at it is, and it was my mate Dave Campbell that said that, you need to look at it from a different angle. Don't think of it as the nasty company taking 30%. Think of everything that they give you for free, all the wonderful things with YouTube. Then they say to you, and by the way, if you do a super chat, we'll also incorporate this thing called super chat. If somebody wants to give you £10, we'll give you 70% of that. How is that? And when you think about it like that, it's a no-brainer. So they're going to take 30% as costs, but you know what? Like I says, they're giving us a fantastic service. So that's that. So yeah, I've managed to restore that, which is good. I noticed, I think in Discord tonight, there's a console, a handheld console, which is hang on, I was going to stop that for a second, but I'll just hear that music even louder. There's a handheld console which is, I don't know when it's coming out. There's a video of it in action, and it basically comes preloaded with Steam. Apparently it's got the power of a PlayStation 4, but it runs all your Steam games. I don't think, I was talking to Del Boy earlier, and he says it doesn't do 1080, but on a handheld, who cares? You don't need 1080 in a handheld. It does 720. So this thing, it's going to be powerful enough to run all your Steam games. Does that appeal to me? Possibly, because I mean, I don't really play modern games. I don't know, I don't play many games, and maybe if I had a handheld where I could just load up any game that I wanted, you know, that was on my computer, that might be quite appealing. Price, it's quite pricey. Now there's 3 different models, I can't remember exactly. One's like 64 gig, 128 gig and 256, something like that. It might not be, don't quote me on it. But the prices that come, I think it starts at $399 and it goes up to like $599. So it's a lot of money. But you know what? I suppose having a handheld that can play all PC games would be quite nice. Talking to consoles, well, I wasn't talking about consoles, was I? I meant to say I was at the computer club this week. That's the first computer club I've had since February 2020. So it was absolutely brilliant to get back to it. There was only 5 of us, I think. Yeah, there was 5 of us, so quite a small turnout, but there's only normally 8 of us anyway. But you know what? There's something special about, there's something really special about going to this club, because for these 3 hours, you become a teenager again. You don't talk about the weather, you don't talk about your work, you just talk about the ins and outs of Manic Miner and, you know, real kind of nerdy gaming stuff, and it's brilliant. I absolutely love that. It's the one time where I can really switch off as an adult and I just forget about anything that's going on in my life, and I just enjoy the 3 hours of being a complete gaming nerd. So that is wonderful. But we were talking about one of the guys was saying he was thinking about getting a PlayStation 5, and I says, well, good luck with that one. He went, no, you can buy them quite easily now. And I said, I don't think so. So I went on to Amazon, PlayStation 5, unavailable, and it kind of got me thinking. There's a machine which has probably been out, I don't know when the PlayStation 5 came out. I mean, it came out last year. It's probably been out now for about maybe 10 months. So maybe in a couple of months, maybe 2-3 months time, the PlayStation 5 will be a year old, and yet you still can't buy them. What is that all about? I mean, that's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. I really don't understand. Is it still to do with parts? Is it Sony can't get enough parts or something? Just absolutely madness. Oh, by the way, how did I forget? If you're a regular to my Sunday live streams, ouch, I just got a sharp pain in my eye there. How can that happen? How can you get a sharp pain out of nowhere? Yeah, if you're a regular to my live streams, you'll probably know that I used to play China Miner, and you probably know that I've got this wonderful person called Holly who watches the channel, and Holly very, very cleverly adapted China Miner. She took out the little China Miner sprite, and she made up a little Main Meister sprite, me with my baseball cap turned backwards, which is just brilliant. And I don't even know how it came about. I have no idea how it came about. But anyway, the long and short of it is Holly is making a Main Meister game. She's making this from the ground up. What she's told me now, this is not my words, this is Holly's words. She's told me it's going to have 15 levels. She's working on parallax scrolling. There's going to be a bit of Berserk. There's going to be a bit of Robotron 2084. There's going to be a driving section, and there's also going to be a vertical and horizontal scrolling. So it's going to be quite a game. Now she's already shared a couple of she shared a video with me, which I'm not going to share at the moment. Just to kind of let you see this level, and it's got me in it. But she shared the video, and she's also shared a level with one of the baddies, who happens to be a certain Mr. Mark Racing, green face. If you ever went to any of the early Retrovision events, you'll know Mark. Mark's always a regular, a good supporter of my channel, good mate as well. So anyway, yeah, she shared a video plus a screenshot. So what I will do, I will put them up now, up there. Yeah, how cool do they look? Now the plan is, and I kind of don't like to put Holly under pressure, because I'm kind of really been bigging this up, but if this game comes to fruition, which I have absolutely no doubt it is going to, the plan is we're going to release it as a standalone game. It's going to be released as probably a digital download. It's also, hopefully, again, if we've got anybody that can help, anyone that's watching this, I know George Cropper, Chronosoft, George, if you're watching this, mate, and you can help me, please get in touch. I know George does watch the Sunday streams. I've also had a few really kind offers for one gentleman is going to be, he says that he can do the loading screen. Oh, another thing I forgot to say, Holly has also said that she's hoping it's going to come out originally on the, or initially I should say, on the Commodore 64, and she's hoping to port it to the Spectrum and the BBC. And also, get this, she's hoping to port it to run on MAME Defender hardware. So there you go. It could also be a game. Now you're thinking, what's the name of this? I hear you ask. I put out last week. We asked for suggestions for games, and we got about 10, I think it was. So we put out a little. What do you call it? A poll, and we got 50. I think 52 people voting, and the overall winner was, get this, Way of the Exploding Pish. Way of the Exploding Pish. Which is brilliant. There was some other crackers. My personal favourite, I have to say, was Main Meister and the Quest for Level 2, which if you watch my live streams you'll know I'm pish at games and very rarely get to Level 2. So yeah, this is a game, it's going to be coming out. What we're hoping to do, if George can get in touch or anyone else can get in touch who can help me, it's hopefully going to get released as an actual cassette game. We'll get a cassette box, get a design, we'll get the front cover design, and if possible we will get it released as a cartridge. I for one will be buying that if it comes out. Now you're probably thinking, oh here we go, he's in it to make money. This is the thing, every penny is going to go to charity. So every single penny that we raise with this is going to go to charity. I said to Holly she should be keeping the money, it's her game. But she says she enjoys the channel, she enjoys the whole little community that's kind of sprung up around the whole Main Meister thing, and Holly just wants to kind of just do a wee bit. I'm going to turn this light on for a second. That's a bit darker, there we go. So yeah, this is Holly just been awesome. So that's the plan. Way of the Exploding Pish. You've seen the screenshots. One little thing, if anybody, it would be absolutely brilliant to get some original music for the game. Now Holly says she's done a couple of synth tunes, but she's not that good. If anybody either watching this is able to write a synth tune, or tunes I should say, or knows anybody, hint hint Panther, Jerome tell, if anybody knows anybody that would be willing to help us out. Now there's no money involved, you're not going to get paid for it, but what you will be doing is potentially you're going to be getting your music into a game that's going to be getting put out there, and I'm quite sure, although it's a game, it's got my character in it, it's going to be hopefully a great game to play. Holly's already told me it's going to be as hard as nails. Oh, get away, got it, and that little battery saver thing's come up. Yeah, she said it's going to be a difficult game. She said probably level 1 will be quite easy, level 2 will be really difficult. You've got to kind of you want people to start playing it. Yeah, so if anyone knows anyone that would be willing to write some SID music, that would be brilliant. Like I said, you're going to get a mention in the credits. You're going to hopefully take part. Right, wait a minute, that's annoying me. Now, somebody, I can't remember who it was, one of the guys, last week I was saying, what do you think of my phone? And he says, oh, I would be a bit concerned because the light's going up and down. It's just because I've got a window there, and when the light comes in, the phone has to kind of keep readjusting all the time. So anyway, yeah, like I said, you're not going to get paid for anything you do put in, you're not going to get paid, but you will have this little warm, fuzzy feeling that you've taken part in something really good. It's going to be a lot of fun. People will hopefully enjoy playing it, and more importantly, it might help to raise a few quid for charity. So that's going to be awesome. So anyway, listen, it's before it gets completely dark. Why is this laptop just switched off? Right, give me one little second. Yeah, so question time. I want to just have a drink of my delicious coffee. Before I forget, I will be back on Sunday, 7 o'clock. Yeah, 7 o'clock until 9 probably, and it's going to be the concluding. I know I said that last week. the concluding part to Zap issue 1. It's just taking that long. I actually think it works. It takes the pressure off of me trying to rush through games as quick as I can. But yeah, I just think it makes it more fun actually getting to see games. So right, let me just quickly find out. Library. Oh, what am I doing? Right, Friday Waffle 9th. Yeah, that's it. Yep. Right. Okay. Right, Sir Lancelot, Splatoon was a Switch game, and yes, Amadar had a paint roller on the second level. Yeah, I was asked about games that involve painting in Splatoon. Splatoon's a great game, by the way. If you've got a Switch and you want something a bit left field, then go and check it out, honestly. Delboy is saying, I'm sure the Fairchild channel came out a year before the Atari VCS, and it's considered the first interchangeable video game system. In your camera discussion, I'm sure your friend was in pro mode and used a few... Sorry, your friend was in a pro mode and used a low f-stop. Right. I was talking about some really nice pictures. I've got to say, I've been messing about with the macro mode in this phone, and it is bloody awesome. It is really nice. Good fun. Highlander, I'm English, never had a problem with the Scottish team. In fact, I always like to see Scotland do well in any international football tournament. Yeah, good stuff. Right, down the rabbit hole, Kevin. The new phone camera works great, Alan, only it seems to have made your shirt backwards. Yeah, you know what, because I'm using the front facing, or is it the rear facing one? I don't know, I'm using the selfie camera, that's why I'm getting backwards. Or maybe there's a new brand called CDCA instead of ECDC. Anyway, here's a few more questions you mentioned using Discord, and I confess I've never dabbled in it. Can you give me some simple Discord for Dummies tips on how to use it? Basically, Kev, it's like an old... It's kind of like... I was going to say it's like Facebook. It's not. It's more like an old-fashioned forum. I personally set up different rooms. So I've got Main Meister live stream. So if I'm doing a live stream, I'll post in there. I've got an 8-bit channel. We've got a 16-bit channel. We've got programming. There's one for the Misters, all the Mister fans. So basically, there's all these different sections, and you can just it's like Facebook. You just go in and add a comment. You can comment. You can reply to comments. You can post videos. You can post URLs. You can post pictures. It's actually a really nice interface. So go and join up. It's good fun. I mean, I'll be honest. Although it's the Main Meister Discord thing, I don't actually use it that much. I mean, I do go in maybe every day just to kind of have a look, but it's piss easy to use, Kevin, honestly. Secondly, what's your favourite real-time strategy game? I've never seen you cover these. Real-time strategy games, I think, well, without a question of doubt, I loved on the PC, well, on the Amiga actually, I used to love Dune 2. It was my brother-in-law actually that got me playing it, and I'd never really had any interest in Dune 2 or Dune until hang on, I'm going to go and turn this light on because it is getting a wee bit dark. Put that light on like so. That should hopefully be a wee bit better. There we go. Dune 2, played that, completed that on the Amiga, and then when I got a PC, I think I played Dune 2 again and completed it. And then I got into Command and Conquer. Was it Command? Yeah, Command and Conquer. Then there was Red Alert. There was about 3 or 4. There was Command and Conquer Tibetan Sun, I think it was. Then I bought Warcraft, and then I bought Warcraft 2. Loved them. I've never really gone back since playing these. I've never really gone back to anything else. I've never played World of Warcraft because I know that just completely sucks your life away. But yeah, all these games, Kev, absolutely loved. I did buy them fairly recently on Steam. I think they've kind of got an HD makeover, so I may actually revisit them. And finally, Richard Branson made the news this week by being shot into space. Would you ever do that if given opportunity? 1,000,000% yes. If Richard Branson, what's his name, Elon Musk or some damn thing, or him who owns Amazon, if any of the guys want to take me, I was going to say take me into space, then just drop me a message. So anyway, listen, thanks Kev. And excellent, the Yamo question for next waffle. Firstly, the Yamo, thank you very, very much for nice to see. I love your little avatar, by the way. I love your name as well, and thanks very much for asking a question. It's it's great that everybody asks questions, and it's nice to see kind of some new people coming in. Question for next waffle: doesn't matter which computer, be it C64, Amstrad, Atari 800, Spectrum, etc. What was your favourite budget game ever? Whoa, that's a tough one. That's, I suppose, I'm really struggling. I'm going to name some brilliant budget games. Master of Magic was Master of Magic? Yeah, Master of Magic. That was a fantastic game. The two Kickstart games, Kickstart 1 or Kickstart 2 were amazing. Thrust is an amazing game. What else? Oh, there's probably other ones, but you know what? I think it's pretty easy. I would find it very, very difficult to separate Thrust or Kickstart 2, purely and simply because I played these games so much. I mean, I probably played Kickstart more than Thrust, but they're two epic games. I could not separate them. I wouldn't want to pick one without the other, so I'm going to go for both of them. Thrust and it's going to be Kickstart 2. Epic game. So anyway, listen, Yamo, thank you very much for asking the question. Legsy, what's your favourite ever console and 3 games for that console? That's a good question. Oh, blimey. Let me think. God, that is a tough one. I mean, and this would probably come as a bit of a surprise. My favourite. Nah, I wouldn't say it's my favourite. Oh, bloody hell! The more I think about this, the harder it gets. The console. If I could only pick one console plus all the games, and I wasn't allowed to play any other games, it would be the Xbox 360, because there are so many games and there's so many amazing games. There's such a wide variety of games. There's driving games, there's sports games, you name it, first person shooters, there's everything. There's a bit of everything in the 360. It's a cracking machine, but it's not my favourite console. It'd be the console I'd pick if I had to pick a console. I mean, my favourite niche console is the Vectrex, but I wouldn't want just to be able to play these games. I love it because it's such a unique machine. I mean, I've not got a lot of nostalgia for the PlayStation. Let's do this in reverse. Atari 2600, I don't have any nostalgia for it, so that wouldn't figure in. NES, no nostalgia. Master System, no nostalgia. Mega Drive, I love the Mega Drive, but there's not any standout games for me that I say, oh, I love that, that's a brilliant. There are hundreds of brilliant games for it, but there's none that for me, I have any nostalgia. I mean, I didn't own my first Mega Drive until, I don't know, maybe 10-15 years ago. I did own a SNES, love the SNES. I mean, Super Mario Kart is the best Mario Kart, bar none, even eclipsing Mario Kart 8 in my opinion. You've got Axelay, which is a wonderful game. Blimey, let me think. That is a really. It's like being asked to pick your favourite child. God, I mean, I love out of the sort of. I know people are going to say, oh, the PC Engine was 16-bit. Out of the PC Engine, the Mega Drive, and the SNES, I love the quirkiness and I know this is not a word, the Japanesey of the PC Engine. They're just, you know, you've got to play some of these games, you don't have a clue what the instructions are, but there's just something really nice. Hang on, I'm going to switch this off because it's kind of starting to annoy me a wee bit. How do we turn that off? There we go. Yeah, I love the PC Engine. It's an absolutely fantastic machine. There's so many great shoot 'em ups. There's Galaga 88. There's tons of them. Then you've got stuff like the Sega Saturn and the Sega Dreamcast. Blimey. Oh, that is such a difficult thing. Then you've got the GameCube, ColecoVision. There's so many awesome consoles. Oh man, I'm really struggling. I don't know. You've absolutely got me. You really got me in that one. Then you've got the Game Boy as well. I mean, Tetris is one of the best games ever written. Oh, blimey. See, the thing is, I was never a massive console fan. I mean, I didn't really have a console. I mean, I got the PlayStation. I don't have a lot of nostalgia for the PlayStation, but so I don't really have like I said, I don't have nostalgia per se for consoles. So that is a tough question. Blimey. I'm really struggling. I mean, I'm going to. My favourite console is going to be the Vectrex. I've told you that already. Mindstorm is an awesome game. Then there was a game that came out just a few years ago. Time Pilot, Vectrex Pilot, I think it's called. It's Time Pilot for the Vectrex. Absolutely stunning game. You've got Protector by I can't even remember, Sean, can't remember his second name, doesn't matter. Awesome, probably one of the best versions of Defender on any system. So yeah, I'm going to go for these: Protector, Vectrex Pilot, and Mindstorm on the Vectrex. But you know what, that is such a difficult. I really need to give that some thought. There's so many epic games and systems. Sir Lancelot, video audio quality good. We'll be a bit busy on Sunday, so probably won't be along for any live streams. Country Roadist is saying Ingerland. Well, what can I say, Country Roadist? We've been having a bit of banter. You did come home eventually, albeit without the cup. But anyway, you know what I think about it. I think England done extremely well. ZX Renew, Top Gun the movie was 1986. No one calls it a retro movie, but most peeps were still on 8-bit. You're absolutely right. I mean, I said that people don't refer to old films as retro films. You don't talk about the Beatles as retro music. So why do we do that with games? Don't understand that. Neil Purdy, The Blob on the Xbox 360 was a great painting game. You know what, Neil? You're absolutely right. The Blob is a good game. It's The Blob is actually, it's very, very similar to Splatoon on which is on the Switch. But I mean, The Blob came out a few years earlier, and yeah, you're right, it's a great little game. Milty Swinbuckle, question for next waffle. Well, watching the interview you did with Andy Walker, you got to talking about how the multi-billionaire companies would never give the go-ahead now for the pipeline games to be made, which is a massive shame, and you gave a scenario of someone walking into one of these companies proposing such a game and being shown the door. That got me thinking of the games of old and how some clever programmer could take some everyday task or job and turn it into an addictive game. Hover Bobber is another good example. So, 3 related questions this week. Number 1, can you think of 3 games based on everyday chores that you have played or know of, preferably games you enjoy? Well, yeah, I mean, I've already mentioned, was it last waffle? and I mentioned it in the interview with Thing. I mean, Pipeline, they were not Pipeline, Taskset software, fixing pipes, leaking pipes. You can't get any more mundane than that. Putting up posters, bill posters, and then picking up seaweed. Then you've got a trash man in the Spectrum collecting rubbish. You've got Automania building cars. Just humdrum games, humdrum subject matters, which turned into fantastic games. Can you think of 3 games based on everyday jobs that you've played or know of? Oh, chores. Right, sorry, right, okay, I've just told you, right, I've just basically answered question 2. Yeah, all these ones are basically jobs. Everyday chores. I'm trying to think. It's bizarre when you think about it. There's a VR game, and I can't remember what it's basically like I can't remember what it's called. You hold down a job in an office, and it's just like a VR of working in an office. It's bizarre. Everyday chores. I don't know. I mean, I was going to say paperboy delivering newspapers. There's lots of them. Can't think of any specific chore ones, Milfy. Anyway, can you think of either an everyday task or job that you think would make a good game? That's an interesting one. What would make a good game? I mean, I've always thought that, driving games. Obviously, we've got driving games. What else? Should we have a game where you've got to make a YouTube channel? That would be a bit dull, I think. I don't know. Again, it's another interesting one. I'm trying to talk loud to drown it. I think they're starting to sing next door. I'm just trying to think of any everyday job or task that would make a good game. Even you're saying you're cutting the grass, hover. I think all the mundane ones have been taken. I think. My job. Well, yeah, I suppose that can you look after schools. You could have like what do you call it? Theme hospital. You could have theme school where you've got to run a school. That'd be interesting, I think. What else? There's bound to be. Going to the pub. I've got that's another one. Bozo's night out. So yeah, I think a lot of them have been covered, Milty. But you know what? A great question. ZX Renew was saying, hopefully this video, i.e. last week's Friday Waffle, was not shot on your new phone. It's flickering like mad. Like I said, ZX, it's not the phone, trust me. Hopefully it's working a lot better tonight. It's just when you're getting sunlight coming in or out, or with light, if I'm moving about, the phone adjusts the sort of brightness depending on how much light's in the room. So that was kind of my fault. Right, and the last one, Colin Jones, Friday Waffle question. What's your opinion on the new space race, aka which billionaire has the biggest willy? Well, I'm a fan of progress in this field. I find this particular battle of words hilarious and sad at the same time. You know what? It's interesting to kind of observe, but there's as much as I think, somebody like Richard Branson who's earned his own money, and probably even the guy that owns the Tesla cars and the guy that owns Amazon. I mean, at the end of the day, they've made their money from nothing. But there's something just a wee bit unethical when these guys are spending millions and millions and millions of pounds or dollars, whatever, so that they can go into space. It must be wonderful. Suffice to say, I will never ever end up in space, unless they're able to come up with some sort of technology. I don't know why I'm holding this because I've finished. Ouch! I'm getting a sore. Ouch! That was sore. Yeah, you and I are never likely to go to space, and there is something slightly unethical and unmoral about somebody spending hundreds of millions of pounds so that they can basically scratch this kind of itch to go to the moon or go in space. It's interesting. I think the fact that Richard Branson has kind of done it, it shows that, you know, we're kind of getting there. I think in 50 years' time, I think it will become something that if you've got enough money, you can do. From what I gather, I think it's something like £250,000 that you can pay to basically book your ticket on one of these things. But like I said, it's not something any of us are ever going to do anytime soon. So listen, this video has dragged on quite long enough. I'm kind of going to get going now. So listen, thanks as always to all the awesome support. Big thumbs up, and thanks to Holly for the wonderful work that she's doing on Way Off the X-Loading Pish. Thanks to Paul Morrison, by the way, for the name. It was voted as the favourite one. I will be along on Sunday, probably 7 o'clock until 9, to the final concluding part. Is it 5, I think it is, of Zap issue 1, and then next week we'll move on to something else. So anyway, listen guys, I just want to say, hope you all have an absolutely stonking weekend. Stay safe, and as always, thank you very much for watching.